يا خاطب الحور الحسان وطالبا لوصالهن بجنة الحيوان.
نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدث بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. وبعد. First, we wish to thank the brothers from this particular masjid for extending to us this invitation to come once again to this particular masjid to deliver a topic. And the topic that have been decided or chosen to be discussed is regarding the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a part of the ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. So we'll try to discuss this particular ayah and also some topics relating to this particular ayah. And of the thing that we'll try to discuss or concentrate upon regarding the particular ayah and what comes from it is regarding that as Muslim, that we have been commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we should cooperate and work together on establishing of Islam and also aiding the Muslim and their concerns. So we'll discuss concerning some of those matters, but also in particular cases that when we find that how we should work together when we do have difference amongst ourselves, and more so regarding concern, more so when we find that some of us may sometimes fall short in a particular matter. So the person may fall into a dhanb, in a sin, or the person may fall into ma'asi. How do we cooperate and work with such person? So we'll try to look to the best example that we have, which is the Prophet ﷺ, regarding how he dealt with people who were of this group of or people who fell into sin. So with this, inshallah ta'ala, and to use him as the example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have a noble example. So it's by way of us to look to him regarding how we function with others and how he alayhi salam, he implemented this particular ayah and also Quran in general. So regarding the particular matter, as we mentioned, that the general topic is the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. So the English rendering of this is ta'awun, that you should cooperate upon birr, goodness, وَالتَّقْوَى, piety, وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ, and that you should not cooperate and work together regarding things of ithim and also things of udwan. So from this particular ayah, as a general start, that our commencement, that whenever we discuss concerning ayah from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or from the hadith of the Prophet Islam, then after the first point regarding to ensure that our understanding is correct, then the procedures, certain procedures should be followed, and of those is the person going back to the book of the ulama of tafsir regarding what they have said about this particular ayah, or the ulama of hadith, or those who are the shurrah, those who explain the hadith regarding what they per se are put forward regarding how this ayah or this particular hadith to be understood correctly, not per se thing coming from ourselves. And also importantly, that also we should also refer back to those books, whether by way of hadith or by way of tafasir, that we go back to books who those people who have written those books, that they are qualified. And so more so people who are known to be those who uphold the method of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So regarding this particular ayah, we have many books of tafsir. So we have many books of tafsir, but from amongst what have been mentioned regarding this particular ayah by some of the books of tafsir, and amongst them Al-Baghawi rahimahullah, our Imam Al-Baghawi rahimahullah, he mentioned regarding this particular ayah, mentioned, and he stated in his tafsir وَتَعَاوَنُوا أَيْ لُعِنْ بَعْضُهُمْ بَعْضٍ, that is those people aiding and assisting each other. Al-bir wa taqwa, upon bir, he says, as for bir wa taqwa, as for what have been put forward by those who discuss this, I mentioned qil, meaning of those who have stated al-bir Mutabiat al-amr. That al-birr in this context, some of the ulama hold that al-birr is the person complying with the commands. One, complying and following the instructions. So this is al-birr. Wat-taqwa mujanabat al-nahi. That al-taqwa in this context, some of the ulama hold, that is the person avoiding those things that have been forbidden. So that's one of the tafsir given by some of the ulama. Also, Imam al-Baqir rahimahullah, he mentioned waqil, meaning another view of the ulama regarding explaining al-birr wa taqwa. Amongst them, those who mention al-birr, al-Islam. Al-birr wa al-Islam. Wa taqwa as-Sunnah. So that of the explanation that have been put forward by some of the ulama regarding what is meant by birr, what is meant by at-taqwa. Then he went on to discuss concerning the other portion of the ayah. We mentioned وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. As for what have been put forward by some of the ulama, he mentioned qil, again showing that this is a view taken by some. Al-ithm, kufr. That al-ithm, that it is taken to mean al-kufr. Wa-udwan, al-dhulm. That concerning al-udwan, transgression, it is the person oppressing others, dhulm. Waqil, another view regarding al-ithm wal-udwan, it is explained al-ithm, ma'asiyah. That al-ithm, it is something of disobedience, ma'asi. Wal-udwan, al-bidah. Wal-udwan, al-bidah. So that of some of the explanation of the ulama pertaining to al-birr wa-taqwa. And also Hafid ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he mentioned in the same regarding this particular ayah, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. That he mentioned يَأْمُرُ تبارك وتعالى عباده المؤمنين بالمعاونة على الفعل الخيرات. That concerning that Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, what he put forth is regarding that as for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding, instructing his ibad, his servants who are the believers, the mu'mineen, that they should cooperate upon those things which is doing of goodness, khairat, wa huwa al-birr, and that is al-birr. So khairat, doing of goodness, that is from al-birr. Wa tark al-munkarat, wa huwa taqwa. And a person leaving away, abandoning things of munkarat, then this is deemed to be at-taqwa. This is being to be at-taqwa. So that's concerning of the older ulama. I've looked at this particular ayah and the understanding they have given. And also you have others, Ibn Jarir at-Tabari, that also give somewhat a similar meaning. And you'll find that most of the books of tafsir, that the meaning will be somewhat similar. So al-birr wa taqwa, as some of the ulama summarize concerning al-birr, fi'l al-khair, that the person who is involved in, or the Muslim being instructed, being commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they should cooperate, that they should aid, that they should assist each other. What are those things? Al-birr, and that birr is fi'l al-khairat. The person, the Muslims' involvement in doing things of khair. Things that are in khair, those things yuwafiq al-shar. Those things that are in line with the Sharia and have been recommended by the Sharia, whether by the way of ijab, whether by way of something being wajib or something being mustahab. These are the matters that will fall into this context. So that's concerning al-birr. So that's concerning the Muslim, and some mention concerning al-taqwa, ittiqa al-shar, the person avoiding things of evil. So at-taqwa is the person avoiding of things of evil. So this is of the general tafsir of this particular ayah, where the general instructions, as Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah mentioned, that this birr wa taqwa and ithm wal udwan, that in certain respects it could be matters where it is compulsory that we as Muslims, that we should cooperate together in establishing these things that we have been commanded to establish, is al-birr wa taqwa. So working together, whether for our own personal benefit or for the benefit of the Muslim in general, then those we should cooperate as long as those things are in line with Islam. As long as those things are in line with Islam and legislated by Islam. So that's concerning the general meaning regarding this particular al-ayah. I will find that most of those who have explained the ayah, then they give that similar meaning. So Ibn Taymiyyah and others who have discussed this ayah, as Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah in his book Sharh Riyad al-Salihin, when Imam An-Nawawi rahimahullah, he mentioned a chapter which is al-bab at-ta'awun al-birr wa taqwa, and he mentioned the ayah, this particular ayah regarding this particular matter. Then Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah mentioned wa ta'awun ma'nahu musa'ida, that concerning that the ta'awun is those people cooperating and assisting and aiding each other. Wa an ya'in أن يعين الناس بعضهم بعض على البر والتقوى. That for the people and those concerned the people working together, cooperating one with another regarding establishing al-bir wa-taqwa. That he mentioned al-bir, fi'l al-khair, and those things of bir, the person involvement and doing of good. Wa-taqwa ittiqa ashar, and al-taqwa is the person avoiding of evil. So that's concerned the general understanding regarding this particular ayah, that it can somewhat give us the understanding that as Muslim, that we are to cooperate together in trying to establish those things of birr wa taqwa. And there's many things that falls on the birr wa taqwa. So those are the things that we are generally expected to fulfill. And as we know, also Islam, it also encouraged the Muslim regarding that we have this brotherhood between ourselves. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, that you should unite together and hold to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So encouraging the Muslim, instructing the Muslim, commanding the Muslims that we should have that type of relationship between ourselves, that we try our best to work together to keep a bond between ourselves, unity. But this is also based upon certain guidelines and principle, not for us to adopt anything, but rather it should be established upon al-birr wa taqwa, and we should not cooperate regarding ithim wa udwan, as we had discussed before. So if many of the ulama have somewhat explained that also based upon this ayah and similar situation, that the Muslim generally should try to cooperate between themselves, that they should try their utmost best in trying to cooperate amongst themselves and trying to establish al-birr wa taqwa, and also avoidance of things of sin wal udwan. And as we had mentioned, that also with this, some of those who have discussed this matter, that we understand in general regarding that amongst the Muslims, that we have those who are from Ahl-Sunnah, who try their utmost to establish the Sunnah and also the Aqidah to Sahihah. But then also we have those who unfortunately have fall into some form of mukhalafat. Those who have some form of mukhalafat, whether those things are khata, or those things are ma'asi, or those things are bid'ah, but there's some form of the person falling into some form of error. The question, the situation that we find ourselves today is regarding how we deal with people who are like that, or fall into that particular category of people. People who are Muslims, but unfortunately that they are fall into some form of error. How do we deal with such people and individual or groups who are that of that type? With this, inshallah ta'ala, regarding the Muslims who fall into error, and as we mentioned, that regarding the one who first and foremost we go to as an example regarding all our matters is Rasul alayhi salam, as we have stated before, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. So by using this as the base on which we can somewhat implement Islam, as the Prophet Islam being our example and the best example, then we look to see first were the incidents that occurred during his time alayhi salam, where people fell into some form of error. How did he deal with those situations? Then we use this as the basis and the source regarding how we should treat each other when we fall into error, and also of the way of the Salaf al-Salih regarding how they dealt with people who fell into errors. So regarding those matters, in the hadith of Jabir ibn Abdullah, and the hadith in the Abu Dawood wa Daraqutni, and Shaykh Albani and other hadith to be sahih, قال جابر رضي الله عنه خرجنا في سفر, that we went out in a journey. فأصاب رجلا منا حجر. So one from amongst us who were involved that party, that he got injured by a hajar في رأسه, in his head. ثم احتلم, then also having an head injury, then also to add to this, that particular individual, that he had a wet dream. So he needed to do what? Take ghusl. Fasala ashabu. So based upon his circumstance, he asked those from amongst his companions, Hal tajiduna li rukhsa fi tayammum? Do you allow for me any allowance for me to make tayammum based upon my situation? I have an injury, but also I need to take ghusl. So based upon this, فقالوا, so those companions that were with him, قال ما نجد لك رخصة وأنت تقدر على الماء. So they say, we do not find for you their response where we do not give you any allowance or permission that you should do this because you are able to use water. Meaning, make ghusl, فاغتسل فمات. So this person, he took their what? Advice. And he suffered a consequence, he died. So in this matter, so those companions, as in the adat al-companions concerned the general way and the function of companions, that regarding that matter, فَلَمَّا قَدِمْنَا الرسول عليه السلام أخبر بذلك فقال. So when we came back to the Prophet Islam, we met up back with the Prophet Islam, he was informed regarding the incident and what had occurred. فقال الإسلام قتلوه, that you all have killed him. So it shows what? They made an error. But the error was severe enough where it bring about what? The death of a person. The person who had this situation, قدر الله ما شاء, he had an head injury, قدر الله ما شاء, he had a wet dream. He asked those amongst him. And sometimes we find ourselves that not all the time we have the alim who's right there in front of us. Sir? But it's important to know who we're going to put the question to. And in most cases, we'll ask the people who are closest to us. But sometimes we have to think, are those people qualified enough to give us the appropriate answer? Because sometimes asking a person not qualified, we also put dhulm upon him. And the next dhulm is him responding when he's not qualified. And we find this scenario, especially in our environment, they say in the West, when we said, we really find an alim, mujtahid, we have to be careful regarding who we put our matters to. Especially when the consequence can be severe. We can affect the life of a person or entire community. We have to be careful regarding who are those people or affairs will be returned back to, who know the hal well enough and to give the appropriate hukum. But back to the shahid, the person asked, his companions, they respond based upon how they saw things. But the consequence was this person died. When the Prophet ﷺ, when he was told, he says, قَتَلُوا, shows how severe it was, you have killed him. Then he said after ﷺ, قَتَهُمُ اللَّهُ, may Allah destroy you. To show the severeness, so that he was very harsh against them. Because of this, passing a judgment about the affairs of a person, that's one person. But the consequence of the person, he died. But the Prophet ﷺ dealt with those people in a harsh way. The language was harsh. Then he went on and says, Allah Sahalu idha lam ya'lamu. Why didn't you ask if you did not know? If you do not know, then you should ask. Then Islam went on and says, فَإِنَّمَا شَفَاءَ الْعِيَ السُّوَالِ, that the shafa, the cure, which is jahl, ignorance, it is suwal. The person who does not know, as Allah mentioned, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلِ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَيْشْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. So if we don't know a matter, where we have studied the matter, completely, and we're unclear about the matter, if we don't know, then we ask. Do not feel that we must give an answer to something we do not know. So the Prophet ﷺ reprimanded those companions, but they made an error. The intention wasn't to bring harm, but harm occurred. It may be a life then, but how many cases and other cases we'll find that worse can occur. And also it shows also what regarding the Muslim and our affairs, regarding ta'awun ala birr wa taqwa, and that ithm wal udwan, that we have to know to balance things. And of the ta'awun is that we try to bring about good. Another case, as in the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri anhu, أن النبي عليه السلام قال كان في من كان قبلكم رجل قتل 99 نفس. That is man, the Prophet mentioned regarding bringing our attention to those people who came before us. كان في من كان قبلكم, that before you, amongst the nation before you, that there was this man who killed 99 persons. The hadith ma'ruf to all, isn't it? Killed 99 persons. But that person, after doing this, Sala an alam al-ard, he asked to sit with the most knowledgeable person on the earth. It shows one, that person, even though you have committed what you have committed, but sometimes from the fitrah, and sometimes find unfortunately some of the people of the Sunnah, we have lost this fitrah of how to put things in their proper context. That person who's we say today is a murderer, 99 persons you have killed. He asked, he want to make tawbah. So he asked, who's the most knowledgeable person on the earth? He wants the person who's the best qualified available to look at his matter. Today, we do not follow this. Even the people amongst the Sunnah, critiquing the people whom we refer back to, is a part of the Sunnah. Because this is a deen. This ilm, it is deen. So the knowledge that you have is the knowledge that you can apply. And that will be that knowledge that the act is what we believe to represent Islam. But is it actually the Islam we're supposed to be upholding if the information is not correct? And the source of it, the person, that alim, that we may think to be an alim, is an actual alim. So the person asks, I want, direct me to this person, the most knowledgeable person amongst us, amongst the people. So I mentioned, فَدُلُّ عَلَى الرَّاهِبِ. So the people who asked the question, they directed him to a rahib, an abid, person known, and a rahib, the person known for involvement in a lot of acts of worship, ibadat. But not necessarily a person who is a person of ilm. Today we have the name who says duat. What's a duat? Who are the da'i? This person is sigar, this person is kibar. Who make those distinctions? That person is kibar and that person is sigar. That person is talibul ilm, that person is allama. Who make those distinctions? If it's not coming from the alim and it's coming from people who are below him, put it aside. If that the person who's a known, established alim is not saying to us that person is alim, then put it aside. Mujarrad taskiya doesn't mean a person is alim. A sheikh saying that person, Jazallah khair, Ahl al-Fadl, Ahl al-Khair, Ahl al-Salah, Jazallah khair, that's all it is. Doesn't mean he's an alim. Nam? So the person asked, and he was directed to a ra'ib, abid. So when he went to the abid, it was said to him, فَأَتَاهُ, so he came to him, فَقَالْ إِنَّهُ قَتَلَ 99 نَفْسٍ هَلْ لَهُ مِنْ تَوْبَةٍ. This person, he have killed 99 people. Is there any tawbah, repentance for him? Nam, the rahib, He said regarding this person, La. Response, La. There's no tawbah. فَقَتَلَهُ فَكَمَّلَهُ مِيَةً. So he killed him and make him the 100th. So sometimes a person may have signs that seems good. Abid, 5 times in the masjid, Siyam, Khamis, wal Ithnain, Jade. But it doesn't mean he's an alim. A person might be presented in front of you, oh, tell you that I'm a person who have any qualification. So not everyone who come before us, my members, that it means that the person is qualified to discuss certain matters. So that person who's an abid show signs that outwardly seems good. But regarding matters, regarding ilmiya matter, he didn't have that requirement. But it led to the death of himself. Those people, they wanted to cooperate in something which is good. So that what they what? They miscalculated that person was able to deliver. The people redirected a person to someone that was not really qualified. And sometimes we said, sometimes this person saying that this person is a such and such. Are you actually not qualified? Have the tools to distinguish that the person actually an alim? What's his level of qualification? So people being able can put people in their right place based upon their true qualification. This is a matter of the baby can go to those people who are truly qualified. The people who call the du'at, then that's the next matter to be discussed. Then a person being persistent in wanting khair for himself. Then he asked again, then he was, the same thing was put to an alim, فَدُلُّ عَلَى رَجُلٌ alim. So he placed to a person's alim this time. فقال إنه قتل مئة ناس هل له من توبة. فقال العالم نعم ومن يهول بينه وبين التوبة. That's the answer of an alim. The alim was able to put things in context, yes, and not become emotional, not become biased, because of whatever the reason may be. The alim put things in context of the Sharia, meditating based upon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for his own self-benefit, not for his own jama'ah, not for his own hibs, not for his own dawla. Regarding the hukum of the Sharia is based upon what is in line with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of legislate. So the alim was able to put things in context. See the wider picture, as they say, of things. فقال نم, added to this, من يهول بينه وبين توبته. Who's the one to come between him and his tawbah? Who's the one to come to the alim able to put things? Then also he told the person, looking at his hal, his situation, انطلق, leave, go to إلى أرض كذا وكذا, go to such and such place. That's the alim Rabbani. Looking at the person, knowing his condition, his situation, knowing what is good for him. I just said, no, the person who is in that environment. So he's able to put things in proper context. He's with the person. So tell him, go to such and such place. فَإِنَّ فِيهِ أُنَاسٌ صَالِحُونَ فَيَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ مَعَهُمْ. That is a place where the people are righteous or worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with them. So that's the alim Rabbani. So the person who deals with these matters regarding Islam, we have to look regarding, especially concerning, either they say the ulama we find issue that we face, nawazil. Nawazil are things that each person face. Nazil, imma yakuna khas, this person have his own issues, individual issues. So you may go to an alim and he give your own remedy for your particular problem. But then you have certain issues that face the ummah. Nawazil al-Kubra. That it face not just an individual, but it face a group amongst the Muslim. An entire, the Muslim body, either in totality, all the Muslim, or a large enough portion of the Muslim. That requires an alim, not just any person who is referred to as an alim. That requires a person who has rusukh fil ilm. of those people who are well engrossed in knowledge, and also in this sense know the ahwal of the people in the dunya and the consequence that may come from this or not come from that. Understand the maqasid of the sharia. So the alim now, because the affect a larger body, he has to be working with different things he has to put into perspective regarding that particular matter. So you cannot be one who gives just a quick answer, because you may need to contemplate, look into the matter, investigate the matter. So the one we see the alimu, as you ask him, you get an answer immediately. You find that the people, Sheikh Fawzan, the Mufti, in certain country, in certain matters that face them, they have a lejna, just to look at the matter. They have a body of people who are chosen to look at certain matter, not just everyone does give their answer as he chooses. So the matter is showing concern, the alim is finding those people whom can take us through those situations that we face, especially those people and that person have a sin, but the alim didn't per se become biased. I'm with you because of my association, my friendship with you. That doesn't come into the equation of giving fatwa, because the alim purpose is to make it clear to the people the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also with this matter of those dawabit regarding ta'awan, more so regarding al-mukhalifin. Ta'awan mal-mukhalifin. The ulama sometimes they'll mention certain general guidelines, and these are general guidelines to be followed regarding any matter. But in some of these matters, most of these matters, even though the person might know the general guidelines that are there, that the person who can apply those things to each case, it needs to go back to the alim, where the case is explained and he know all the matters relating to it, or the important issues relating to the matter, so he can give the appropriate, even though the general qawaid is there. So of those things that are mentioned in general regarding ta'awun, which is an issue discussed concerning al-mukhalif, and of them al-bidah. Because the ulama look at those matters and they see al-bidah, that they're not all one and the same. You have some people of al-bidah who are people of al-bidah that concerning that mu'lan li-bidati wa da'i ilay. People are from al-bidah and they call to their bidah. They have a lot of effort in trying to spread their bidah. They openly spread their bidah. Then you have a person upon bidah, but yukhafif wa yastatar, and he hides it. It's just between him, does his own thing. Are those two people the same? So the person going to concern to a personal judgment, we have to take the other person have to take those things in context. That's the alim. Is it something that we have witnessed that that person is involved in that bidah, or something we suspect he is involved in? The alim needs to gather those information and put it in context. Of recent, one man al-mashayikh, wafaqah Allah, you were discussing concerning what we find to amongst the people of the Sunnah, muntasibin ila Sunnah, of the things, and in particular in the West, we have some of the shabab and some of what is referred to as duat, ghafarallahu lahum wa lana, that were hasty in making judgment on others. We're hasty in passing judgment upon others. And sometimes we ask, how you have come to this conclusion? One of the questions we asked the people at the duat, and I said, ask people like me. If I say to you, Omar Jamaykee, come to you and say, Sheikh Fulan say we should make tabdi of certain people, and you should abandon certain people. Ask me, which sheikh said this? Is it something that you discussed with him? What did you say to him? Is it something that was recorded, and preferably have it recorded so we can hear what you say to him and what he said back to you? So keep the amana on the table. With me? Anyone who comes to you from, we say, the du'at in the West, and amongst them, ana. If I bring any information about a brother that you know, or people that you know, that says, leave him, is this, is that, ask me the following. And don't be shy. It's a part of our religion. Which sheikh you discuss this matter with? And know what the level of qualification of that sheikh. What did you say to that sheikh? What was the exact response of the sheikh? Prefer yet, it is something which is musajjal, it's something which is recorded. So everyone can hear from when it starts until the end of what was mentioned in the discussion. Or let the sheikh write a fatwa and sign to it. So he takes the mas'uliyah. Nam. And then most of the problem, and if you are passing something there was no sheikh, are you qualified enough? Is that your own personal judgment? Are you qualified enough to pass such judgment? Because these matters we said, yes, khata will occur. As in a hadith that is discussed by some ulama of hadith to be Hasan, kulli bani Adam khata. That all children of Adam, they will make what? Errors, mistake. But it's how we deal with the mistakes. The person and also us, the onlookers, the one who have to deal with him. So the Prophet ﷺ dealt with cases where errors occurred. But how did he dealt with some of those matters? Come on, sir. What?
It's 8:45. Half an hour to Lisha.
Half an hour more?
It's half an hour to Lisha. You can go and you can stop.
Hey, okay.
Your line. Come out to chat.
Also bear in mind what we're saying, how to deal with the people of mukhalifin. Now, as we said that the asl of Ahl-Sunnah, ibtihad and Ahl-Bidah, especially regarding matters regarding ad-dawah. Because matters concerning deen, they fall into two categories. Or matters regarding us, they fall into either matter concerning the matter of the dunya, or matter they say of deen. We are more concerned regarding matters regarding ad-deen. Because the Prophet used to deal with kuffar. When he came to Medina, he had like a covenant between himself and the kuffar, the Yahud in Medina. If anyone tried to come, we'll defend you just as you will defend us. But regarding us as Muslim, regarding concerning that, the people whom we deem to be from Ahl-Bidah, and yes, they are Ahl-Bidah. And a general principle that is so fancy, it says mutawatir, and most of that, as we say, even says ijma between the ulama, ijtinab Ahl-Bidah, wa tahdhir min Ahl-Bidah. Shaykh Bakr Abazir rahimahullah, he mentioned, these are the usul of Ahl-Sunnah. Of the usul of Ahl-Sunnah is that rad al-mukhalif wa ijtinab ta'awun ma'al Ahl-Bidah. So that's established. The question and the principle are there regarding how that is to be executed. In general, as general principles. But regarding specific case, it requires for a person to go back to an alim. To ensure that he's applying this correctly. Not based upon our own, what we think to be correct. Now, so with this, as we mentioned, that a person of the ilm can make a distinction between Ahl-Bidah. Are they from Ahl-Bidah al-Kubra wa-Sugra? هل هو من الدعاة إلى البدع أو ليس من الدعاة إلى البدع? All these things for that alim, also regarding those matters regarding that, trying to confirm, did that person fell into, does he have that error? So when I mentioned before regarding a point regarding of recent, regarding one of the Mashaykh who was in Kuwait of recent, he was bringing to us an example regarding sometimes we hear or know of some general principle, but regarding how it is applied, then this is where we fall sometime into error. By some. One of the Talabatul Ilm in Medina or in the Mamlaka, Talibul Ilm, that well known that someone accused him of leaving the Sunnah or accused him of accusations. Of the thing is, as we said, the guidelines, what the person who's accusing and the person being accused, the accuser and the accused, we need to know from the accuser, one, who are you? To accuse a person who's a talibul ilm, who's already established. The accuser, who are you? And what are the things you're bringing forth? And that's what the Shaykh asked him. The thing that you're criticizing this person for, outline it to me. What are those things? And in most of the case, between yourself and with the people who sometimes accuse the most, they're unable to bring things which is direct to that person. He said, can you bring me something that person said by way of his mouth? He said this is of bid'ah. You said the people from that masjid, they are not upon the Sunnah. Is that masjid known that they are teaching things of bid'ah? And they say to be frank. You want me to be frank?
No.
You want me to be frank? Or keep it indirect? Masalan, I'm from London. Sir? No. I'm from a masjid called Masjid Brixton or Brixton Masjid. Masjid bin Taymiyyah. A person might say, don't go to Brixton Masjid. An example. Or what's your masjid here called?
Masjid Quba.
Masjid Quba. A person said, don't go to Masjid Quba. And you live in Quba, you come to Masjid Quba all the time. So he said, a person said, don't go to Masjid Quba. But I said, I know the people of Masjid Quba. What are you accusing them of? Is Masjid Quba the people there teaching bid'ah? The khatib, the mudarrisin, do they teach things that goes against the Sunnah? And more so things inviting to bid'ah. So if the person cannot bring those things forward, then his claim is batil. So anyone who accuses people of something, you have to bring something clear, not Masjid Quba. This person came and prayed in Masjid Quba and we know him to be a bid'ah, from Ali bid'ah. The person come and pray, that's all he did, just pray. So it's putting things in context. That errors will occur, yes. But a person who's going to measure those errors and correct those errors, it's important that person is a person of ilm, as in the case concerning the rahib and the alim. If the person look at, okay, is he an abid or is he rajulun alim? And this is where we find the problems or some of the things regarding. So it becomes of we said that the established principle which go back to ta'awanu al birr wa taqwa, it has been destroyed. So you find, for example, the ulama were discussing, you find many fatwa of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim al-Jawzi, Ibn Qayyim, Shaykh Albani, Shaykh bin Baz, al-Lajna, regarding, for example, in this ta'awun al-birr wa taqwa, and it is concerned mukhalif, people have errors. We're in an environment now in Europe where legislation are being passed regarding that more affect the Muslims. So, we find in certain places across the borders that hijab, niqab is banned. And people are thinking of those things. Halal meat are being reviewed. This halal meat process. But we're not the only one who have halal meat. The Yahud system is worse, is more severe than ours. So you can apply the rule to us, then you have to apply it to them. But the point is, if that matter was to go forward, and us as the Muslim, 6 million of us in this country or so or less, can we all with one voice represent each other? Or we're going to say those who are Salafi, they go through one door, those who are Tablighi go through one door, represent themselves, those who are Ikhwani go through another door, represent themselves as they each, those who are upon no madhahib, everyone take their own group and do their own thing separate regarding the same issue, which is tackling the matter concerning halal meat. Or for example, hijab. Do we need to have separate bodies, or is it allowable for us to unite on this matter? Because Allah mentioned, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. It's trying to establish halal meat, not from birr wa taqwa, it's from udwan wal ithm. So these are the things regarding how we implement these things. It's not having the ideas, but it's how we implement those matters. And we need the right people in place to take us forward in the proper way. Regarding those matters, errors occur between a Muslim, and there's many cases. There's a hadith of Buraidah رضي الله عنه قال جاء ماهز ibn Malik. Maiz ibn Malik came to the Prophet in the Nabi alayhi salam, to the Prophet alayhi salam, فقال يا رسول الله طهرني, O Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, purify me, make me clean. فقال عليه السلام ويحك ارجع فاستغفر الله فاستغفر الله وتوب إليه. Go back, make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This occurred. So ma is mentioned concerning Buraidah. فقال فرجع غير بعيد ثم جاء فقال. So ma is he went away, and he kind of somewhat, then he came back. He got the answer from the Prophet ﷺ to go, make istighfar, make tawbah. But as he was leaving, he kind of somewhat reflect upon the matter, then he came back. And he said the same thing. Tahirni, purify me. And the Prophet ﷺ said the same thing as he said before. And this repeated until it occurred 4 times. It occurred 4 times, the back and forth. So the 4th time when he came back to the Prophet ﷺ, فقال عليه السلام to the person, فيما أطهرك, what matter should I make you pure for? What matter you wish for me to purify you of? So he mentioned, so it shows that the Prophet ﷺ was not clear regarding what he was discussing or what he intended. فقال يعني مائز من الزنا. من ايش؟ من الزنا. Zina of one major sin, صح؟ Then the Prophet ﷺ, when he was told this, how did he respond? فسأل رسول الله السلام أبيه جنون, is this person insane? This person today come to most and say commit zina. أعوذ بالله أنت الدجال فاسق اذهب منه مني. Some places may ban him from the masjid. Sir, that's us today. That's us today. A person come with his matters and try to seek a way out, rather than try to listen to the person and try to give the person a way out of the matter, we condemn him and turn him away and run him away. That's us today. And that's the people of Sunnah. But the Prophet ﷺ, what he asked, Abihi Junoon, is this person insane? Because he knew what he did, he understood what he said, he knew the consequence of that act of zina. But he still went on to verify and to check what's really going on, what's going on with this person. Abihi Junoon, is this person insane? فأخبر أنه ليس بمجنون. So he informed the person was not majnoon. Then again he asked, so that's one. Should the Prophet wasn't hasty to condemn and to pass judgment, because he understands the severity of certain things. So the person, Islam, then he asks him, Asharab al-Khamar, did he drink alcohol? So the people check, no. Another box tick, as they say. But he showed the Prophet ﷺ wasn't hasty in how he dealt with things, even though it may be severe. And that's the alim when things come to him. He tries to verify. So he didn't ask, he asked the person and also those around, is this person such and such? Trying to affirm what's the reality of the person, because the consequence can be severe. And these things can't be taken lightly. Then after then, قال الإسلام, أزنيت, did you actually commit zina? So to verify with being specific, want to hear from the person, as this actually occurred. Then the person, فقال نعم, the person admitted. And it shows also that you find a Muslim from the Salaf, from the Sahaba. And this is why we owe these people to great honor. All of them. That those people who are willing to come forward and to come forward and admit their own shortcomings and take what comes with it. That's not something easy. And that's because of their iman. They understood what they did, the consequence, but they were willing to sacrifice for this. And the Prophet ﷺ had also the way of how to deal with those situations where it doesn't blow things out of proportion. Once it occurred in the community and it becomes everyone dealing with it. Let the appropriate people deal with the matter and khalas. But everyone jumping in, anyone spreading them in, that's not helping, and that it shouldn't be done. So Islam dealt with the matter. Then he asked the person, فَأَمَرَ بِهِ فَرُجِمْ. So he gave the command that the person is to be stoned to death. So this comes to what? It shows that people did make mistakes, and sometimes severe. But the Prophet ﷺ had a way of how he dealt with those things. In Islam ﷺ, that matters concerning al-bidah was absent. The matters concerning al-bidah came after. So you find the ulama to put principles in line regarding how to deal with concerning people of mukhalif, either by way of ma'asi, and that are dealt with in a certain way. Then you have people of mukhalif or mukhalafat based upon al-bidah, that also to be dealt with in a certain way. But it's finding the people who are appropriate to deal with those things. And the people who those matters go back to al-zikr. The people of al-zikr. And to show this, that time the Salaf, that changes started to occur. After the death of the Prophet ﷺ, some changes start to occur. And in those cases, as in the case of Imam Muslim rahimahullah fi sahih, min hadith bisanadihi, and Yahya ibn Ya'mar. قال, so this narrator, Yahya ibn يعمر قال كان أول من قال في القدر بالبصرة معبد الجهني. So Yahya ibn Ya'mar letting us know that the first person to discuss about Qadr in Basra is this person, Ma'bad al-Juhani. Then he mentioned, this Yahya, he mentioned, فانطلقت أنا وحميد ibn Abdul Rahman al-Himari. So he and his companion, they undertook this journey. And I mentioned Hajjain or Mu'tamarain, that we undertook this journey of either Hajj or Umrah. Because of this matter that we're facing, we can ask, who are these two persons? Are they like common people? Because they're the people, they said, something going on, I want to put the matter. We took Hajj and Umrah. Why? قال فقلنا, we said to each other, like an agreement between themselves, upon this while I took this journey of Hajj or Umrah, upon take it, لو لقينا أحدا من أصحاب رسول الله الإسلام فسهلناه أما يقول هؤلاء في القدر. So the purpose of the benefit of going for Hajj and Umrah, they said, of the thing that we will do is to take off that time and we'll try to meet one of the companions of the Prophet Islam to ask him about this matter regarding what those people are saying about Qadr. So they showed concern, they said today, manhajiyah. Our method, the method we follow concerning that, when matters arise, we need to know who we refer back to. Those two persons, Yahya wa Humayd ibn Abdul Rahman, Ibn Hajar rahimahullah, in his book Taqrib al-Tahdhib, a summary of the narrators of Kutub al-Sittah. As for Yahya ibn Ya'mar, they say this person, he was a judge of Mur, he was a judge, and also Thika Fasih. He was a judge, also a Thika, meaning concerning his adala, and also his dabt, his memorization is on point. And also Fasih, a very eloquent person. So it's a person he was a judge, who had a person of responsibility, an alim, to have that responsibility. So it's not just a common person, but still, he and his companion Humayd, they mention Thika Faqih. Regarding his other companion, Humayd ibn Abdul Rahman, he was a what? Thika Faqih. So they're not like people who had no ilm, but they took the agreement between themselves regarding this particular matter to ask someone who they believe were more senior to them. And that person they had in mind was someone from whom? One of the companions of the Prophet Islam who was still then alive. Then they mentioned regarding this particular matter, فوفق لنا عبد الله ابن عمر ابن الخطاب داخلا المسجد. That the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them with to meet was Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab, and he was in the masjid. And they put their queries and their situation to him, showing that these matters, that will refer them back to the people of Ilm, the best that's amongst us. So it's important for us to know the people of Ilm that we can refer to regarding matters of that level of severity or seriousness or importance. I and the likes, I can say across the board, to my knowledge of the people who are present in this country, these matters that affect the Muslim in general regarding telling a person, don't pray in this masjid. I warn you about this person. If that's from himself, then there's no one in this country who's qualified enough to my knowledge to do this. No one to my knowledge who's qualified to pass that independent ruling upon people. This masjid from Ahlul Bidah, don't go to this masjid. Don't sit with that person from Ahlul Bidah. most of those who speaks a lot of these matters, unfortunately, they're the most less qualified. And that's why it's easy for them to say these things, because they're not disciplined. They don't understand the procedure regarding ilm. So the person who's less disciplined, less qualified, or have any form of qualification, then he's more prone to make any kind of mistake. And the worse when a person put themselves forward regarding dawah and representing Islam, that becomes more severe. And just as we mentioned, that regarding that person who killed the 99 people, the people who were giving the direction to him, they fell into error. And sometimes we have to pay attention regarding the people who are directing us to others. Who are they? Who are those people who are the in-betweeners between us and the ulama? Who are those in-betweeners? Because if we're not careful, cautious, verify, check things out, who they are, and their level of qualification, then that means that is a part of the problem. See that Akh Jafar is here, that means time is upon us. طيب بالله توفيق وهذا السبيل والآخر دعوانا الحمد لله العالمين.
Is that just the matter when it comes to halal meat and general topic, or?
Regarding concerning cooperating to al-bidah, the asl of it, Adam. Regarding concerning ad-dawah and the likes. So regarding matters concerning ad-dawah, then the asl is not to be involved with them. But regarding concerning matters that affect the Muslim in general, regarding concerning, for example, in general affairs, then working alongside the ulama, many ulama mentioned concerning fatwa regarding it, then those things can be done as the benefit is not about that particular group or that, but a benefit that will affect all the Muslims. So the matter is, as an example, halal meat. It's not about whether you're Salafi, Ikhwani, Tablighi, Sufi, Nashkabandi. It affects everyone. The Muslim who's daif and the Muslim who's qawi. The Muslim upon the Sunnah and the Muslim upon Bid'ah. So in those things that are general, then the ulama have mentioned that those things, the Muslim can somewhat, which is to establish a matter of Islam, which is as a legitimate place in Islam. Then those things, then the Muslim can cooperate on those matters, and many fatwa from the legend of Sheikh bin Baz and the likes have given that understanding. But regarding consider matters regarding ad-dawah and spreading the dawah, then no.
Obviously, the new obviously there's a lot of laws that you're saying that's coming in that's going to affect just Muslim in general. So, with regards to that, we can work.
Now, the general thing that we said, the general concern, also the general fatwa of the ulama and aqwalat, it is permissible. Regarding case that we face, then the Muslim also, we're going to face that matter from the people of Sunnah, they also need to consult the ulama about these matters, and also to consult the ulama of contemporary time regarding your contemporary matter. As I said, there's a general thing that they said, a degree of permissibility, but also when those things arise, then also the ulama should be brought into the picture by way of consultation to make everything clear regarding what is being the issue that needs to be looked into, and then the ulama then will give the final verdict regarding that level of, if cooperation needed, is it yes, or that case doesn't warrant that level of cooperation. Now, but consultation the ulama still is needed.
Okay, Tahid, inshallah, we've got 3 minutes left till the salah. We're going to make that adhan. Can you ask it after? Because we've got time's running out, inshallah. We're going to call the adhan. We're praying. If you want to ask him after, we've got a few minutes before we have to go to the train station. You can ask him, inshallah. Yeah? You want to come and...
يا خاطب الحور الحسان وطالبا لوصالهن بجنة الحيوان